On today's show, we discuss making your online presence in a way that is right for you.
I know there's a lot of business owners out there that feel that they're scared to jump on Facebook, they're scared to really just create their own brand on social media for one reason or the other. And I challenge you to ask yourself that exact question is, why aren't I doing these online activities that need to be done? Check it out right now.
Hey guys, we've been talking a lot recently with other business owners in our circle, people in different industries, about online presence in general. And of course nowadays, social media has a huge role in your online presence. And we found that, unfortunately, some people will in essence write off social media in a place that they don't need to be for their business. And I think that's a mistake, and they're arriving at that conclusion for the wrong reasons. For example, people saying that it's all about political stuff nowadays, or it's spammy, or it's all just like Hollywood junk. Like, just because you see that doesn't mean that that's what everyone sees. And if you are appearing in someone's newsfeed, that doesn't mean that's how they perceive you. In essence, your social media can be whatever it is you want to make it.
Yeah, your online presence is you. It's what you want it to be. If you're following trashy posts, unsubscribe from trashy posts. We've got some really interesting stories and of the reason why this topic even came up from a few local business owners we know, some other real estate investors we know that I'm going to share with you in a second. But like Chris said, it's you, right? You can have your own personal brand. You can have your own business brand. You know, if you don't want a personal page, fine. If you don't want a business page, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your prerogative and it's up to you. But obviously, we all know that media and online presence is where it's at. And it's very important. And when we say online presence, this could be this could be a website, this could be a blog attached to a website, all social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, things like that. You know, figure out, depending on what industry you're in, what's the most applicable to you, and then use those. And the key things is be yourself. Put the content up that directly reflects you. If you don't want to talk about political stuff, don't put political stuff up there. If you're a house flipper and you don't want to say, hey man, I just made $100,000 when I flipped a house, don't put that up there. You've probably never seen us put some of that stuff up there. You put on appropriate things that is a direct implication of what you want to represent yourself as.
Yeah, and things that you're comfortable with, with 10% more, I would say.
Just get outside the box 10% more?
Yes, just
fair.
10%, because there's a lot of stuff that's probably totally within the wheelhouse and not, something you should be uncomfortable with, that you might not feel great about. And I think some of that's just getting used to it, or maybe just being kind of, self-conscious or whatever, like many people are. So yeah, I think that just a wrong move is to say, yeah, that whole Facebook thing, I don't need to be there.
Yeah, and so originally this topic came from a financial company that we're friendly with, and they're a little bit old school, maybe, next generation above us, so that has something to do with it as well. And they were like, you know what? I'd love to get some help with some social, how you guys are doing internet marketing and things like that, but I refuse to be on Facebook. And a common question is, well, why? Well, it's all trash on Facebook, and my daughter's on it, and I don't like the stuff she's following. And that is like, it's surprising. And this is a smart financial company that's very successul, and they're so used to offline boots on the ground marketing, which a lot of us are, but sure. It's like you realize how much your business can be impacted if you're doing some of the social and online presence features, not just a website, but let's be honest, Facebook and some of these other social platforms, I mean, they're like the next set of the internet. I mean, that's the online presence. They're getting a lot more eyeballs. Your Facebook thread could probably get a lot more eyeballs than your website's getting. That's just it. It's easier to maneuver, easier to post content to it. So at the same time, you don't have to post crappy. Like, we keep going back to the word trashy. Maybe that's not the right word, but you don't have to post that stuff. Post what you want. What we explained to her is post whatever is a direct reflection of your company and how you want to be perceived. If you want to put some business suits on and jump on camera and share pictures of your team, whatever it is, make sure it's a good reflection of you. But also the important part is, just like anything, make sure you're giving value to the people that are going to be following you.
Yeah, there's another example recently. It came from an attorney friend of ours. He posted something that maybe wasn't 100% comfortable with, and he got some texts from other attorneys that he's friends with on Facebook and said, what's up with that post? And so he wanted to write off Facebook. But you don't want to write off Facebook. You want to do the posts that are right for you, right?
Yeah.
And I see too many people jump to that conclusion. Like if you put out one bad commercial in the 80s, you don't just write off TV, right? Like TV was still a thing.
Yeah. I mean, think about, obviously a lot of you are real estate agents and real estate investors and stuff, and obviously we are as well. And think about what you usually see on that from real estate investors. Hey, I just flipped this property, I made all this money, or I just did this and I just did that. Well, you don't have to post any of that stuff. I mean, that's, a lot of and a lot of people come to us like, well, I don't want to do those things because everyone who's currently doing that, I've unsubscribed and I've stopped following. And that's great. And don't do those things. There's so many other endless ways that you can provide value to your clients and have a good representation of yourself by posting quality content to help sellers, buyers, private lenders, things like that. Jump on camera, you do a little snippet like this that gives value to some people. Maybe you're very proud of a house that you just flipped. You don't have to put the dollar signs on it. You just put before and after. Look how nice my craftsmanship is. Yeah. There's so many endless ways to do it without kind of being a sleazy person. Mm-hmm. And another real interesting thing that a friend of ours in Philadelphia who has a pretty large lending operation, when he started a few years ago, he was off Facebook. I shouldn't say off, he was never on Facebook. He was like, I'm anti-Facebook. And in a few years, the progress he's had to grow his following and to see how that's backed out financially of who's coming from Facebook, he's kind of like a local celebrity up there right now. Mm-hmm. And just because people see him and they know who he is. And, it wasn't that like, maybe it's the shy side, I don't want to jump on camera, or I don't know what to post, and things like that. Again, I know we've geared this towards Facebook, but this is all kinds of online presence in general. It doesn't matter what the platform is, it's important. It's online marketing, and if you have a company that can just hide in a black hole and still do tons and tons of business and be profitable, kudos to you, that's great. But a lot of companies, they need that extra exposure. So, write down on a piece of paper exactly what you think your audience wants to see, things that you're comfortable with, and like Chris said, put on paper or put on social platforms, blogs, things like that, stuff you're comfortable with, and then maybe just kind of step it up another 10%, and then over time you work outside your box a little bit.
Yeah, slightly. Good stuff.
Cool. Any other cool stories that we got of other business owners that we know? I mean, we talked to a lot of business owners and real estate investors.
It really is endless, but I think they're all pretty similar in the ones that we were describing. It's don't write off social media or the internet, just do it in your own way.
Yeah, exactly. Be yourself, create your own quality content. Any comments related to that, please do comment below. Really curious to see your thoughts. Either if you have a business that you really believe does not need an online presence, again, maybe you're like a covert op and you don't want an online presence company, then that's fine. Yeah. Well, you'll get a pass. But if you're a company and you just don't really know where to go on your online presence, share below, comment below, and happy to kind of chat with you with the community.
CornerUnitMedia.com.
Absolutely. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Till next time, guys. Thanks again.